Alright, here are 4 joints of our upper anatomy. I'm going to start with the glenohumeral joint. The bones involved in this joint are the scapula and the humerus. To find the joint, a few prominences you can find. Number 1, if you follow your clavicle to the tip of your shoulder, you'll find the acromion process of your scapula. If you go just down from that, you'll find the head of the humerus. That's kind of between here that the joint resides. So the movement of this multi-axial joint is shoulder abduction, adduction, flexion, extension, and internal and external rotation. Okay. The next joint that I chose was the humeral ulnar joint. The bones involved are the humerus, again, the main bone of our upper arm, and the ulna, the medial side bone of our lower arm. To find the joint, you can find the epicondyles of the humerus by kind of sliding your fingers on both sides of the bone to the prominences on either side. And those are the epicondyles of the humerus. And then to find the ulna, it's an easy one. It's just the tip, the point of your elbow. So between the olecranon process and the epicondyles, the ulna and the humerus articulate. The movement in this joint is simply flexion and extension of the elbow. I also chose the humeral radial joint, which is right next door. The bones of this joint, again, are the humerus, and this time the radius, which is the lateral side bone of our forearm. So again, to find the humerus, it's pretty easy to find these epicondyles just by sliding your arm along to the main points of those prominences on either side. And then to find the radius, you can slide your fingers along the shaft of the radius until you get up to the head, and if you actually pronate and supinate, you can feel it articulating in there. So the main movements of this joint, the humeral radial joint, are again flexion and extension of the elbow, as well as supination and pronation of the forearm. The last joint that I chose to focus on is the ulnar carpal joint. So again, the ulnar bone is the medial side bone of our forearm, and the carpals are the small bones between our metacarpals and our arm bones. The bones involved in this joint are the ulna and specifically the lunate and the triquetrum. So to locate this joint, if you slide your fingers along to the end of the ulna, you'll get to the styloid process of the ulna, number 1. And then the triquetrum is located in this space between, you can find it by finding the soft space between your wrist and the bones here, and if you deviate your hand, you'll feel the triquetrum right there. The lunate can be found by finding this ditch in the back of your hand and flexing and extending. On the proximal side of this ditch, you'll feel the lunate. On the distal side, you'll feel the capitate. Those are the bones. It's again the lunate, triquetrum, and the ulna. The primary movement of this joint are flexion and extension of the wrist, as well as ulnar deviation. So there you go.